It's been a long and exciting week. What can I say? I got the results back from a blood test I took. They did not go well. I should study harder for those things, if such a thing is possible. Crazy stuff happening in the world. Crazy stuff happening as the fascist regime tightens its grip on us. I'm kind of getting ready for my Indivisible protest on Saturday. Looking forward to that. The Hands Off protest is this Saturday, April 5th. Check indivisible.com, I believe it is. Just Google it. It's the Hands Off protest. Hands off our democracy, hands off our, insert thing that they've got their hands on. So I'm going to be doing that on Saturday. Looking forward to that. Taking the wife and kids. Got the kid birthday coming up. That's exciting stuff. Plenty of exciting stuff in my personal life that's just like all because shit's so crazy. And that's what I want to talk about today. How to make it less crazy a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Let's talk. This episode, this little talk in particular, I guess, was brought about by a friend of mine. Went out to lunch with a friend who recently had kind of a blowout fight with their parents, older parents, and it was it's a real negative experience to have a blowout fight with your parents. Even when they're, senior citizens and you're a full grown, totally adult, it's not easy. And in this age, it happens more and more over the actions of Donald Trump and the regime and the brainwashing that's come along with, the Fox Newses and the Newsmaxes and the OANs and One American News Network. Yeah. Okay. And the Alex Jones conspiracy theories, and it all goes back to Rush Limbaugh and the rise of alt-right radio in the 90s. And it's not easy. It's not easy. We do everything we can to avoid these conversations, which is ironically what makes them so bad when we finally do have them. It just simmers right under the surface. I have these in my life as well. How do you approach them? How do you deal with this? How do you say to your parent or you know what? Stop for 1 second. Thank you for listening to Trent Takes On. I'm Trent, and I'm going to keep going now. How do you have this discussion with your parent or loved one or friend or even your coworker who they want to have the fight with you? They want to, rub your face in it that their team is winning. And sadly, they don't realize that they're team fascism. Their team hurt people. Or maybe they do. And it doesn't matter to them. Either way, it's not easy. This is not going to be an easy conversation to have. I've decided that my approach going forward is always going to be the same. I'm going to ask what they get out of it. What do you get out of this? What is it that this regime is doing for you? I'm going to keep calling it a regime because until they actively follow court orders, they're a regime. What do you get out of it? What do you get out of this? What do you get out of the privatization of Social Security? What do you get out of the dismantling of health and human services? What do you get out of them they're firing half of the federal workforce? What do you get out of them closing all of these institutions, these administrations that inspect meat and keep factory floors safe and predict the weather and do research for illnesses and disease. What do you get out of the hatred and division? What is it about this that you get? What do you at the end of the day, when you go to bed at night, what is it about what happened that day that makes you happy? What did this what did this regime do to make you say, oh man, I am proud. I am proud of that vote. I am proud of my Trumpism. What is it? What do you get out of it? You're not getting anything. You're losing your services. You're losing your future. Children are losing their educations. People are losing their life fortunes right now as the tariffs have started tanking the economy. This is the exact economic climate that caused the Great Depression in the 30s. And all of this is done by one man, unilaterally, all by himself, because he's decided that this is the thing that's right to do. And he's utilizing wartime and emergency powers that aren't even supposed to lie in the presidency during a time without a war or emergency. What does the average Trump supporter, your loved one or friend or coworker, get from their behavior, from the regime's behavior, from them deporting people without due process? You know, what do you get for that? What is it exactly that makes you happy about that? I'm curious. I don't know. I don't understand the psyche of the Trump supporter anymore. If it's just about owning the libs, why go so far? And again, what do you get out of it? You just like seeing people hurt? Because that's seriously sociopathic behavior. I worry because I don't think that even they know anymore. They're angry at a system that they feel failed them. I think that's what it boils down to. And they've been told a lie so many times that it's ingrained in their soul. That they're not successful because someone else is. And instead of knowing that someone else is the richest among us, the 1% who continue to hoard as much wealth as possible and just hand it down in their direct. This is what monarchies are like, man. This is what aristocracies are like. There's an aristocrat class, and then there's a working class, and then there's the poor who can't even get a job, who can't get an education to get a job, who have no opportunity for upward mobility. I grew up in the South in places where that is the case to this day. The opportunities afforded people who grow up in the same place that I did are minimal at best. If you're lucky, you might get a job in the oil field. But outside of that, there's no high-end employment. And that, being a roughneck out there, drilling for oil, operating oil wells, is dangerous work. Maybe you get a job with the local biggest company, the biggest company in town. But is that a good job? Is it a real opportunity? Is it something that you're going to generate the kind of wealth that matters? It's crazy to me that this lie has been repeated over and over and over and over and over again, that you are not as successful as you want to be because others have taken your opportunity. It's crazy. If your job is threatened by a Honduran immigrant who doesn't even speak English, your job fucking sucks. Your job is fucking terrible. And you don't really want to be doing that, do you? If your job can be taken by someone with no skills who doesn't speak the same language, how can you say that your job is good? It's not. There are awful jobs in this country that need doing, and it's hard to do them. And they deserve recompense. They deserve to be paid well for them. But they're not. We don't pay well for shitty jobs. Shitty jobs get shitty pay. That's just the way it works. I don't hire anybody. I don't have anybody working for me. If I did, I'd make sure that they made enough money that they could live on it. You know, it's stunning to me. How many times have I said that? It feels like multiple. I don't know that it's truly surprising anymore. I'm surprised often by the number of people who just eat it up. You know, I say the phrase cultist's going to cult a lot. You know, that this new culture of owning the libs is all that matters. It's like, it's just, why? Why? You suck so much if that's all you want. You should want more out of this world than that, than just to see other people suffer. It's not okay, man. You haven't really figured it out. It took me a long time to figure it out. You haven't really figured it out until you've actively helped someone to the point where you feel their gratitude just in the way that they turn around and look at you afterwards. You see a lot of these mentoring commercials on TV right now, and that was a big part of my job for years. I always tried to be a mentor to someone or multiple someones to teach them everything I could about not just the job that we were in, but about their potential and their future and the real limits of what you can and can't accomplish. And that was the best part of work, was mentoring people. It wasn't making other people feel bad. It was making other people feel worthy of that attention, worthy of that teaching, you know, to make people realize that, yeah, this job that we're in right now may suck, but there are pieces of it you can take with you as you move forward into the world. And that's what this is all about. Sometimes the experience really is the most valuable thing you get out of a job. Maybe it's not the paycheck. Maybe it sets you up for the next one. I've convinced people to go back to nursing school. I've convinced people to attack jobs that were beyond what they thought were their capabilities and seen them thrive at them. To say, go apply for that job. Treat it like you can do it, absolutely, from moment one, and never doubt yourself. So we all need shit like that. We all need somebody to pat us on the back and say, I'll take care of you, man. I got your back. I never really had that. I think I did a little bit when I was in, like a teenager, but you don't appreciate it then because you're a teenager. You're a dick. You're an asshole. Not every teenager is awful. I was. Yeah, you got to grow into it. And sometimes it happens like a bolt of lightning, bang, suddenly you have somebody taking care of you, but it happens so fast and then they're gone from your life that you don't get to really explore how awesome their influence on you could be. So I've had a couple of mentors, but very short-term ones. And I don't know that they took it particularly seriously. But you can really make a difference in someone's life by just being kind to them and teaching them what you know and lifting them up, putting them in a better place. And that made me feel great. Every time I accomplished it, it made me feel wonderful. It was the best. I don't get to do that anymore. I do that with my kids. And, that's a different kind of fulfillment. The stakes feel a lot higher. That's for damn sure. And it's every day, and it's weird because, I remember very little from my formative years. Little things here and there. And most of my interactions with them now, I know that they won't remember later. So you have to make the special ones special. And that's what they remember, 20, 30, 40 years down the road. So my friend was really upset that her dad kind of just wanted to fight because Trump is that important to him. And my response was, I don't know, maybe I don't understand it either. Maybe if we can get them to talk about it, we can get closer to an understanding. But I don't see it because all I see is people hurting. All I see is people outraged. All I see is people losing their freedoms. All I see is people losing their jobs. All I see is people paying higher and higher prices for everything. Yesterday was, what did he call it? Liberation Day, which is fucking insane. And he dropped tariffs on basically every country in the world, including uninhabited islands with nothing but fucking penguins on them. And that's how you know he's full of shit, for the record. He's bothering to put tariffs on uninhabited islands. Get the fuck out of here, dude. You are not serious. This is not serious business. It's, one of the most important things that all of us can do as human beings, and I cannot repeat this enough, is we can admit when we're wrong and learn from it. And you need to do that. People need to do that. You need to be wrong from time to time, and you need to own up to it and say, you know what? Shit, I messed that up. Or I was wrong there. I read that situation wrong. Whatever it is, whatever the specifics of it are, you got to come clean about it, and then you got to learn from it and move on. The thing about Donald Trump is he never takes accountability for any of his bad decisions, and he makes them all the time. This guy wouldn't know a good decision if it fell out of the sky and crushed him. Don't hurt anybody. Okay? Really important. We need to stick together and be positive and lift each other up. And that ain't easy. So my advice to my friend was find out, because your dad's not going away. Your parents aren't going away. Well, eventually, I guess. But for now, and you're going to go back around them, and you're going to get to the point where it's going to come up again. But maybe the better idea is just to come at it and say, I want to talk about this. What do you get out of this? What is it that makes you, what is it about this situation that fulfills you? What is it that you like? And you can explain your point of view. I like helping others. I like justice. I like thinking that everyone has opportunity no matter who they are. I like the Department of Education because it takes care of children with disabilities and makes sure that they have a life that's worth living, because they can better themselves through an education that now they're not going to have, because when the states take that over, especially the poor states, they're not going to do anything about it. They're going to be doing anything with it. They're going to privatize education to the point where it's going to become a privilege instead of a right. One of the greatest things that this country ever did was a public education system that led to a secondary education system, colleges and universities across this country that are so good so well funded that people come from around the world to be educated here in the United States, be it the Ivy League schools or the University of California system. I mean, all over the place. There are amazing universities, college universities from sea to sea, and Alaska and Hawaii. There are incredible higher learning opportunities in this country, and the current regime is flatly attacking those. It's just, it's painful and it's obvious on its face, and we're frustrated and we're tired and we're angry and we're, holy shit, it's been 74 freaking days. Really? 74 days. 74 days. They've broken the Department of Education. They've broken Health and Human Services. They're breaking the Social Security Administration. They're breaking the Veterans Affairs Administration. They've broken the IRS to the point where they're going to lose $500 billion in revenue. So all of the savings that they claim to have found gets wiped out because you're not going to enforce tax laws because there's nobody to do it. Are you kidding? How is that smart? And now we're launching tariffs on the rest of the world at a time when inflation is already high and reheating. Oh my God, we're headed towards stagflation. The first quarter numbers for this economy are going to be terrible, and they're going to be trending down on top of that. We will be fortunate to continue to grow the economy in the first quarter of this year. We're definitely shrinking in the second quarter. No question. And the rest of the world will engage in the trade war with Donald Trump because they don't have a choice. Because they have to make the people of this country feel enough pain that we replace these idiots with people who actually give a fuck about us and who will take care of us and put into place systems and laws, make decisions that benefit everyone and not just the rich. And that's what you got right now. You've got an oligarchy. The richest among us are making decisions for everybody, but they're decisions that hurt almost everybody, except for the richest who don't really mind all that much that the price of bananas and coffee is going to skyrocket because they don't, what? I mean, they're already rich. Fuck it. They don't care. And we're supposed to be, I say this often on this pod, we're supposed to be better than this. And if you share that idea, that ideal with me, that we're supposed to be better than that, you should speak up a little bit. Use your voice a little bit. If nothing else, it's you get your red bucket. I talk about the red bucket every once in a while. You get your red bucket out, you pick up a little trash. And you put it where it belongs, in the bin. You don't engage with these people when they want to fight with you over Donald Trump. You don't engage. You just say, what do you get out of it? If you can tell me what you get out of it and it makes sense to me, then we can start talking. But outside of that, I'm not talking to you about this. Because you're in a cult. What? It is what it is. Why do I have to talk to him about it? I don't want to talk to him about it. I don't want to talk to him at all. Sorry. Just the way I roll. I believe in equity. I believe that everybody is supposed to be treated equally. I believe that everybody has the same rights. Not people who support Donald Trump get all the rights and everybody else can just go get jammed onto a plane and flown to El Salvador for all they care. I mean, are we serious about this? This is the longest running experiment in democracy in the world. Almost 250 years since the Declaration of Independence. The Constitution was ratified in 1787, and the Bill of Rights was added and ratified in 1891. Since then, we have been a system of checks and balances where the people choose their leadership. The leadership chooses representative or used to choose the president. Now we the people choose actually, no, we still do have that electoral college thing. We choose the people that choose the president. It's crazy. System's kind of antiquated at this point. We need to, rise to the occasion. We need to rise to the times. And I don't know that we're doing that as a country. I don't know that we're doing that as a people. And it doesn't take much. Just be kind. Just think. Just use your head. And know that there may come a time when you do have to protest. Maybe it's a Saturday. If you do listen to this show, which you are right now, so thank you again. If you go to a protest, you know what you're going to discover? Like-minded people. People whose hearts are in the right place. People who want to stop this madness. People who want to return to normalcy. People who want to see others have opportunity and to succeed. Maybe it's even them. Maybe you'll meet somebody that you had no idea you would have so much in common with. But you will meet people, you will form a bond. And it can be a good thing. So take a moment. Ask yourself if it's right for you. I looked at the weather. Weather's going to be perfect on Saturday here. That's something to take into account, right? I bought my placards and my dowels and my poster board, and I'm going to make a special reusable sign that I can just switch out the top and the front and back. Oh my goodness, it's going to be awesome. I got a design and everything. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of today and tomorrow. I'll be painting and getting these bad boys ready to go. We're going to have fun. We're going to meet people, and we're going to stand together, and we're going to do something that's important, and that's make our voices heard. Hopefully there'll be enough of us that we can get some television coverage. Yeah. We'll at the very least do some social media coverage. And you know what? That's better than television right now anyway. Right? So I guess the whole point of this show was to say, you're not alone. If you're frustrated, if you're tired, if you're angry with your parents or your loved one or your coworker, or your sibling for being a Trump supporter and you don't get it, you're not alone. You're not alone. A lot of us that don't get it. And like I said to my friend, I said, start listening to the podcasts of people who are in the resistance, people who are leading the resistance. Midas Touch and Pod Save America and people like that. They're trying to put a positive spin on what's happening while keeping you informed, but you get to do it at your own rate, at your own pace. You get to decide whether or not you want to stop it for the day. And I stop them every once in a while. I'm like, nope, not listening to this anymore. And I just stop. I'm like, I can't do it. Know your limits and walk away. But you do have to stay informed, and you do have to stay up to speed. You can't run from it. You can't run from the moment forever. You can take a break every once in a while. You need a break. You need your sanity. Got to have it. Got to have the sanity. You can't let it drive you crazy. Can't let it eat you up. Can't stress that enough. You're not alone. And you don't have to be alone. And the more people realize that, and the more people lock arms and say, hey, we're in this together, the better off we're all going to be. And we can fight back this tide. And we can change our future by showing them that there are no kings here. And that the power of the people is still the only power that really matters. So with that said, I'm checking out for the day. I thank you all so much again for listening all the way to the end. I appreciate you. I cannot say that enough. Until next time, please be good humans. It's the very least we can do. And I will talk to you soon. Until then, love you.